I want to talk about some of the things you may want to consider for a time when you're no longer driving. RACV encourages drivers of all ages to continue to drive for as long as they're fit to do so. And it's our own responsibility to monitor our driving and make the right decision about our driving future. So, what should you do if you're not as fit as you used to be and driving is becoming a little more difficult? The decision of when to stop driving is one all drivers will need to make one day. For some of us, it will be some time away. For others, it may be quite soon. It may be that some of us are driving now and we really shouldn't be. Here are 3 people who have experienced difficulties with driving as they got older, and they explain what they did and how they managed to retain their mobility when they stopped driving.
I used to drive for a transport company, drive semi-trailers all around Melbourne, plus interstate. And then this happened to me. I lost the sight in one eye. Then they told me I wasn't allowed to drive transport with one eye. I was 63 years of age when I stopped driving, and now I am 67. Well, at first it was hard. I sat in the corner in the lounge and I wouldn't come out the corner. Then Vision Australia got involved with me, and they are great. They got me out of the corner. I've just got to the stage that I'm not going to let this beat me. Nowhere known is it going to beat me. Well, my car is a 1999 AU Falcon. It was my pride and joy, but now I'm not allowed to drive it. I've got a friend who lives round the corner. If I want to go anywhere in it, there's him and his wife. They come round and drive the car for me. Before this happened to me, I never used a bus, I never used a train. I always jumped in the car. I've mastered the buses and the trains. All I do is ask. It might take you more than once to do it. It might take you 2 or 3 times. So you just try it. So you just got to keep going.
I enjoyed driving very much and was independent. I was confident and enjoyed it and drove a lot. I think with changes in cars, of our cars, and the traffic combined with my health, which affected my hands, and I was on and still am on a lot of medication, and I began to lose confidence and concentration a little, and became aware that I just wasn't enjoying it anymore, wasn't comfortable, and I knew my limitations and felt it was time that I drew back from it. Well, it wasn't an abrupt decision. It came gradually. And Don, my husband, was so generous and giving, kind, that it made it an easy decision to just pull back, stop. If I were giving advice to people who ask me, I would ask them to think ahead and plan, prepare for it. Perhaps before they stop driving, to at least try a taxi or take the bus or a train, or speak to a neighbour, try going online. There are many options, but until you consider them and find out about them, you just don't know about them. And losing your independence is hard enough without feeling, what am I going to do now? But there are options, and I think if you open up and seek help, people will be there to help you.
Well, I lived at Lakes Entrance, and because of the isolation of the area, that I moved back to the city. I'd lived in Flinders Lane previously, and I thought, well, I'll have to go back there, and if my sight gets worse, I'll be able to take care of myself. I'm an independent person. I'd like to take care of myself, so that was the best situation for me to do that. It was a relief, actually. It gets rid of a lot of stress, that you realise that you're not sighted as you should be to drive, and it's a sort of a load off your shoulders when you stop. In the city, there's no problem. Everything's at the doorstep. the trams and trains, taxi or whatever you want, just step out the door and it's there. If I need a chemist, it's across the road. If I need a supermarket, it's 100 metres round the corner. Everything's right at my fingertips and it suits me fine. I used to quite enjoy driving, but things move on.
Thinking about your driving and your future mobility is important. It's just one of many topics covered by the Years Ahead presentation. The program involves a 1-hour discussion-based presentation and is available free of charge to organised groups of seniors throughout most of Victoria. This includes groups such as senior citizens, probus clubs, church groups and retirement villages. If you'd like to learn more about mobility planning, your driving future and other road safety topics, then call 03 9790 2915 to book a session.